Hello to anyone who is watching right now or might watch the VOD version in the future. Welcome. Now I have to warn you, I'm still a little bit new to the streaming thing. Last time, when I streamed without advertising to anyone, it turned out that the frame rate was not so great, so I adjusted things a little bit. Hopefully it's better now. If there are any problems with the volume or the frame rate, please let me know. I'll do my best to work things out. Well, I've done a couple of streams in the past. Well, by the past I mean a few days ago. If you're watching this and you haven't seen my previous ones, which does not surprise me whatsoever because I basically told no one about it, well, I'm playing as the pirates, because how could I not play as the pirates? And what happened previously is not too much. I did capture this castle over here. As for what happened in that battle, well, I did take one casualty. I lost a lizard man, oh no, and I captured a Pegasus. That's pretty good. And I still have a little bit of organizing to do. But that's not really the most pressing thing right now. What's important is I don't have to worry about defending this castle just yet. I'm sure they're going to reinforce this one pretty heavily because, hey, they have nothing here, and over in, I think, a couple of the inner cities, they have some really powerful rune knights that they haven't moved forward yet for reasons I do not understand. Yeah, I don't look forward to facing these guys, but it's gonna happen at some point. But it's not happening yet. They might move forward, but they won't be able to attack me this turn, so with that in mind, I decided to send some of my bigger, tougher questers on quests. Especially, hey, my Viking is pretty good at getting stuff from a bay. Who would have thought? And also, I should consider sending other people on quests. There's not too much danger of an attack from here either. And I do have 4 rune knights. So I might as well send one of these guys out too. So who's gonna do that? Well, you don't seem to be doing much else, so let's get that going. But I do wonder how the possible rewards things interacts with these reward lists here. Maybe it's just an increased chance of good stuff. I don't know. And one of the reasons I don't know is that I have been deliberately avoiding any online guides about this game. And it is kind of a shame because I know some people like Valkyros Lunari have been putting up a lot of guides, and probably some others as well that I don't know about yet. Some other channels, I mean. And I'm deliberately avoiding them because I want this playthrough to be kind of fresh and see what I can find out on my own. You definitely need more training, and so do the ghouls along with you. And you can probably do a decent quest up here. As for plans, well, I definitely want to level up this hunter somewhat, but I don't know if I'll have the time to level up both Radka and Sophie. I'd kinda like to try making Sophie my project for this playthrough, because hey, I would get access to Meteor Doom and whatever else, depending on what class she cross-classes with. But that's a ways off. As for this hunter here, I'm gonna try crossing her with the Lancer to improve probably her strength. I think they're both fairly agile, so that won't suffer too much, but we'll see how that all goes. I'm also considering having these three attack this turn. It's gonna be a little tricky. I'd prefer to have more than one rock. And I'm also kind of thinking about how best to use Pluto here. Because Genoflame is kind of the obvious thing to use on a sorcerer. But I found that sometimes just spending all my resources on spiking down one enemy at a time can be useful. Also, hello Velkos. Thanks very much for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Now, one of the problems that I expect to run into is I start with a lot of water units, like especially a lot of sea serpents. Or, well, I keep forgetting what exactly to call them. I used to calling them hydras, and then I think, okay, sea serpents, because giant snakes seems like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right for me to call them that. Anyway, another thing that happened in a previous unseen stream is I summoned this sparkly Gigas, which, I don't know, I guess I'll just try my best to keep it alive. We'll see how that goes. In retrospect, it might have been a good idea to, well, it's not too late. I can send this one along with her for some training. That should help a little bit. And I'm also considering sending these folks out on an attack. I'm especially interested in how Stella is going to work because of this skill right here. It seems like it could either be extremely good or just a lose button, because decreasing your own agility on a target that you really want to be able to dodge stuff on, well, I don't know about that. The increase to attack power had better be huge. I guess we'll find out if I find the opportunity. It actually would also decrease my hit rate, so maybe I'd use it if the enemy is surrounded or something. Oh well, I mean, I can't say I dislike that there are skills like this that really have to make you think about when or if to use them. That seems like okay design by me. Another thing is, even though I tried to learn as little as possible from outside sources to try stuff out on my own, I have heard once or twice that monks are still bad. And I can't say that I don't see why, because a counterattack that pushes the enemy back seems like it could cause the problems. We'll have to see. And let me just check this battlefield here. Wrong button. Right, so I don't think I'll be able to do much surrounding of the enemy on this map. It looks like the fighting will happen in one of the valleys with mostly mountains around it, so maybe I shouldn't go by strength of numbers for this one. Well, not that I have a huge amount of choice in the matter, but I think my composition will be okay because I have the Gigases, which are good in mountains, and the rocks, which are good against the enemy mountain stuff, although they have stuff like that too, so it's going to be a little tricky. Another thing that I want to do is, and this is something I did off camera, summon a couple of dragons and bring them across, probably over to Minsk, because this nation starts with a considerable lack of dragons. In fact, I don't think they actually have any at all at the start. You have to summon them yourself, and only one castle can do it. And since most of the battlefields don't have a whole lot of water, I'm gonna need to do this. It seems important to me. Yeah, so as I said, the disadvantage of starting with all these sea serpents and, well, giant snakes and stuff is I took a look around the battlefields and most of them do not have a significant amount of water. It could be worse. We could have the water movement restrictions of, say, Legend of Frosinna and Grand Edition, where the Hydras would move only 3 tiles. That doesn't seem to be the case here. But still, I expect problems. Well, I could say that about the game in general, because I don't especially know what I'm doing. But enough talking about that. I think I've assigned everything that I want to do. Let me just double check my quests. Man, streaming a game like this is pretty scary. Well, I can't exactly do takebacks this way, you know? But, hey, why are you standby? I thought I told you to go on a quest. Well, it's a good thing I checked, I guess. And I thought I told you to go on a quest as well. Oh, I did, apparently. Oh, I see. I see. That was the problem. I wanted to cancel your stuff. So, how do I cancel a current quest? Oh, there it is. Set to standby. Much better. Okay, so I avoided what could have been a reasonably serious mistake there. Good for me. Yay for double checking. End the phase. So, let's take a look at what they've moved over here. Alright, so I should assume the worst here, which is they're going to use their higher level Rune Knights, and I should expect plenty of golems, 2 rocks. Those are going to be probably the most troublesome part of the enemy composition. I don't have any archers with me, and I'm not sure I can surround them to reduce their agility, so I'm gonna have to go pretty heavy on targeting them with magic. And of course, Aqua Breath, or whatever other no-miss skills I happen to have. I should also expect a lot of enemy healing. That actually... Ooh, this is actually a very tricky decision to make. I don't like going up against this composition. Especially because this kind of goes against my strategy of targeting one enemy or monster at a time. They'll probably be able to rebound from that sort of thing. And they are also, in general, rather tanky. Well, actually, that's not true. I actually do have arrows, so that'll help at least a little bit. So I guess the idea will be to have my demon, my wyvern, Pluto, and Raka go after the rocks, and everyone else just kind of try to hold the line, I guess. I have no idea what Stella looks like on the front lines. I hope she's not too terribly fragile, because that would be really bad. Her agility seems pretty high, though, so I could probably have her dodge tank a little bit. We'll have to find out. Oop, no, I want to select all three of these. But not Vigo. He doesn't seem... I'm sure I'll have a chance to try him out later. Now, another thing that I need to note is that my demon is going to be in quite a lot of danger, because we have those knights and that bishop, and they're going to have holy attacks. And demons, last I heard, do not like those. And I'm not going to attack from here, of course. Oh, well, it looks like I could have gotten away with it if I hadn't sent my strongest guy out on a quest. Yeah, Emma, last video, Emma walked onto a space that got her surrounded, so that didn't go so well for her. That surprised me, but I don't think that surprise went in their favor. Well, that's the only attack I want to do, and there's not much else. So, let's see how this goes. Of course, since I am still trying to learn, I cannot guarantee victory, but I think that adds a little bit to the spice of it, I hope. Alright. So what order do I want to go in? I think I'd like to have Pluto in the middle, actually. It'll be easier to guard him with stuff. Actually, I don't have a whole lot of frontline Rune Knights, and they do, so that might be another tricky thing to deal with. Yeah, Pluto is not really a face-smashing sort of person, is he? I think this could be a good description of the nation as a whole. Yeah, well... One impression that I got from my very small amount of play is they definitely went out of their way to make Rune Knights stronger, which it kind of pushes a dynamic of the original further than it was in, say, Grand Edition, which is early game, the Rune Knights are the real powers of the field, and later on it's more along the lines of the Rune Knights are there to direct the monsters and try not to get killed. Well, those black defense orbs are not going to help her in this battle. But what can you do? Alright, so I can do... Actually, I can do all of these things after moving. Right, so how am I going to direct my frontliners here? Ideally, I don't want the captain to get attacked from too many sides, so I think... Oops, wrong thing. I think maybe 1 or 2 tiles would be okay. So Pluto's rune aura area seems pretty good, so I can probably get my wolf to do some flanking. Well, we'll have to see. Once again, mountains are very likely to get in the way. It depends on how far these guys move forward. I know that the AI on normal is not amazing. But I don't think they're completely stupid. I think I might need to take some extra time. Ideally, what I want them to do is to move around and try to flank me, so that if Geno Flame turns out to be a good match for these enemies... Actually... I forgot that Gigas had no intrinsic element anymore. So, actually Geno Flame would be pretty good, especially against... Yeah, pretty much all of these monsters have low magic defense. The trick is following up on it. Yeah, after looking more closely at the enemy composition, I think that kind of AoE would be good, because their individual healing spells would have trouble keeping up with that. Oh, well, they are moving forward. I need to see how... You see, what I expected from the game was for easy to be similar to the way the easier difficulties worked in Grand Edition, and for normal to be the way it used to work in hard mode in Grand Edition, and for the highest difficulty to be something new. But it looks like that's not quite how it is. So ideally, I want to put these guys in mountains. So I think I want to shift my formation to the right a bit. I'm going to start that right now. Well, first I need to take a look at their composition, though. It might not go in my favor. Yeah, these guys prefer mountains, too. Oh, I thought for sure that I'd be facing 2... Yeah, there they are. 1, 2. Those are gonna be the main targets, because they're my biggest weakness, I think. And this unicorn is gonna be working double overtime. That's the main thing that I don't like about this composition. I'd like to have 2 unicorns. Although, to be fair, I can't say that they're bad where they are, which is in the service of my Vikings and Berserkers. Because, you know those guys. They kind of like to take hits. Alright, so it looks like they've stopped moving forward for now. Alright, in that case, what I want to do is... What I really want to do is substitute Legend of Forsena music for this music. Alright, so you definitely want to be up here. And you want to be just behind the front line. Ooh, I overestimated your movement a little bit. But it's not a huge disaster. Yeah, I think I can make this front line work. I am going to be pretty bunched up, but I'm pretty sure that those knights are not going to throw out any Geno Thunders. In fact, they don't seem to be too heavy on breath weapons either, except for this giant snake. Yeah, the only thing I have to worry about is a holy word from this guy, but he only has MP for one of those, so I should be okay. Right, so my plan is to move you over here. Yeah, the good news is they don't have too many answers to my rock either. Alright, this is going to be tricky because I don't know how much this guy will be able to move. That's the problem of having a dog attached to a rune knight that likes to be stationary. That was a mistake on my part. And let's see, Frost has pretty good range if I remember correctly. But still, I might as well do it this way. And Wyverns are a bit more flankers than they are straight up frontliners. But still, against grounded enemies they should be able to dodge a little bit. Right, so I should be able to move my golems up here, and that'll help them a little bit. Maybe it'll even help increase their hit rate. I'll have to find out. Yosh! The question is, how far this away do I want her to move? Well, I guess that'll be answered when I see how far these guys can move. Yep. Well, the Gigases have no problem getting there. If they were golems, it would be a different story. It's a little bit risky, but I think over here will be fine. There's one open hex in front of her, but I actually don't mind that because if the enemy is stupid enough to go that way, they'll probably surround themselves. I don't want to go too far into the mountains, though, if I can avoid it. Yeah, I don't like moving that far out. I'll be able to do that next turn. I highly doubt that they're gonna rush me that hard from their position. It kind of annoys me that I probably won't have the opportunity to use all of those cool-looking water-only moves. If the rocks become a real problem, I can always have my mermaid use flight. That might be able to help. Yeah, so moving them up here seems good. I'll be able to position them pretty well after that. Huh. Okay, that's something I didn't expect. I mean, making use of the castle is certainly a good move. We'll have to see how the others react, because if they move forward, that means their forces are going to be split, and that'll be really bad for them. So how do I want to position? Well, to answer that, I need to look at how I'm going to position her, and everything else is going to follow from there. Yeah, I'd like for her to move up here onto this prairie. And the giants will kind of move accordingly along those lines. And with that in mind, I think I want everyone to move maybe 2 or 3 tiles up and to the right. And that'll also give time for my giant snake to catch up. It doesn't feel right to move like that. But what can I say? Well, if they try to rush her, they're gonna position themselves pretty well for my water breath. With this setup, they might try to move across the prairie, but actually, no, they have some mountain natives as well. Either way, though, I think this is a good place to shoot from. And this is an okay place to flank from, or take an opportunistic attack, whatever that may be. I don't like bunching up this much, but hey, you play with the battlefield you're given. Alright, and from here the rock should be able to reach the enemies that it's strong against, so that should work out, maybe. And I think the Wyvern staying a little bit in the back is alright. Because it can move just about anywhere from there. Oh, you're not moving forward. Okay. Well, this is the part of Brigandine that can get a little boring, I guess. I can see why people kind of clip that out of the videos. But when streaming, you can't really do that. So with that in mind, I think I can afford to be a little more aggressive. Although I don't like putting her in a mountain tile herself. I think that if they're gonna stay here, I'll have to have her kind of skim around and move up here, perhaps. But they definitely can't reach her from there, so I'm okay with moving like this. One MP, that's great. I wonder if Flight also removes the rock's bonus damage against someone whose favorite terrain is sky. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, no, a favorite terrain is mountain, I should say. Jeez, what am I thinking? I think that once I get more used to the game, I'll be able to move with more confidence. Alright, well, let's go with that plan. I'll be very surprised if they don't move in to attack me as their next thing to do. But now I'm actually in a bit of a bind, because I definitely don't want her to go into mountains. Actually, this terrain is a pretty serious problem. Let me just try and visualize how I want this to look. What I want is the serpents to be... Let's see, how bad do mountains affect them? Probably really bad. Well, okay, it could be worse. But still, not ideal. How about you? No, whoa, 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 whoa. That could have been bad. No, that's someone else's unit. Oops. Alright, so how am I gonna work this out? So this is essentially 3 tiles wide for these characters. It won't actually hinder Pluto's squad very much because of flying and all. Alright, well, it's risky, but you saw the introduction conversation, so hey, what do you expect? There's an uncomfortable chance that I might get a little bit surrounded like this. And the enemy is not going to be hindered a whole lot from where they are. Well, that flying advantage is going to be pretty big. So this line is going to look a little bit awkward, but I want him to move straight forward and have a little bit of coverage on her right. Or I could have them cover a little bit on each side. I actually like that better because it gives more room to the giants. And let's see, how many tiles away does this go? I think it's, yeah, 3 tiles. So if I put her here, she should be able to hit the parts of the front line that matter. But I think I like this spot better anyway. She might get attacked by one of the flying units. Although that would be a really big reach on their part. And whoever tried that will definitely surround themselves because they'd be between the giant snake and the wolf. So I might not even take that as a downside necessarily. Well, they might also attack... Yeah, they definitely attack Pluto, but I don't know how they'd follow up on that. That spot that I wanted her to move to is taken up too. That's awkward. I can't say otherwise. But I knew about the problem with the terrain going into it, so I have no one else to blame but myself. Let's see, that's a road. Actually, maybe I could move her up here instead, and that'll push the aura up enough for the giants to move as well. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Oh wait, I don't actually have to risk Pluto at all. I mean, the enemy probably won't surround themselves, but I have the feeling that the rock is going to go this way, so that'll be decent wyvern placement. Well, that's a decent start, I think. I told you, rocks can be a big problem. Ooh, I was not expecting that. And they set themselves up perfectly for my water breath. Alright, the bad news is that we'll have to wait a turn for healing, and that could be a problem. So how do I want to handle this? Their rock... I don't think they're gonna move too far off their castle just yet. I also want to zoom in a little bit. Oh, no. There we go. That's a little more like it, I think. So I definitely want her to move and help with this side of the battlefield. So where's she gonna go?
Yes.
Can she attack from here? Nope. I'll probably just have to deal with the reduced stats from being on a mountain. I don't like it, mind you, but... yeah, I think wearing down this giant might be a good idea. Do they have any breath weapons that can hit her? No, it doesn't look like it. This will be a good healing position for next turn. And this will be a good protect position for, well... what I'd like to do is cast Protect on this, this guy next turn. Provided, of course, that it's not too late for that to be helpful. I think he'll be okay, though. That Sea Serpent is pretty tough. And let's see, who am I nervous about here? Well, this guy is Holy Word, but he's pretty far back. It might not be a horrible idea to cast Resist on this giant, though. Because I think that one's going to be taking some hits. And, well, what else is this mermaid going to do? Huh. Oh, right, it's lower level, and probably keep the top-down thing. Oh well. And speaking of which, graphics-wise, I think I kind of prefer the stylized 2D stuff over the 3D graphics here. Although, I can still tell what's going on, more or less so okay. Oh, faint. Very nice. If I'm lucky, their bishop will spend a turn healing that. And that's gonna be troublesome. I'm not sure I can shoot that thing from where I am. So I better push really hard. Oh wow, you just lined yourself up perfectly, didn't you? Yes, yes indeed you did. Breath weapons, hooray! Hooray, hooray! And what is our dear captain going to do?
Okay.
I wonder if there's someone she can charm. Huh, I'm starting to get a little bit of... Obviously that's not going to work. If only I could charm a higher health enemy monster. But charming this rock would be a pretty big coup, I think. Well, then again, maybe not. I'm set up to surround it anyway. Alright. Let's try something else. Yeah, that'll put the Hellhound into a very serious problem. And any opportunity I have to breach their front line is a good one. Oh hey, looked out. They don't even get a counterattack. And you get to throw out a curse. Against who, though? I think this is a pretty good target, yeah. In retrospect, it might have been a good idea to use the cheap shot on him instead. Well, live and learn. Well, Aqua Splash isn't too devastating, but... no. Hey, any opportunity to inflict damage without taking a counterattack is good. And the total damage is still better than... Oh, hello. I wonder if he has the firepower, or in this case, water power, to beat this guy. Yes, I believe that can happen. Well, that's what happens when you rush your Rune Knight to the front line without very much support, huh? You gotta do a little better job of protecting than that. Of the two, I think leveling up Pluto is more important, because, I mean, having a higher level Siren is great, but it doesn't promote anymore, whereas Pluto definitely can. While it is tempting to get a little bit of extra damage in, I don't think it's really necessary to put myself at extra risk, because that Wyvern could get itself surrounded. I'd rather not do that. So, let's see how good this is. Yep, that'll do it. Too bad. And now I'm in a pretty good position to flank them. The only problem is if I move to this tile, I won't get such a great setup for my Sea Serpent. So I think these two tiles would be good places to move. Or maybe these two. Let's see how well I would be able to hit this guy. Pretty well. And you know, that's what Hit and Run is for as well. Yeah, he should be able to retreat one tile after this, which is really all I need. Oh, two tiles, even better. And that away. Hey, you know, this looks pretty good. Ding! Whew, and here I was all worried about the enemy healing up their wounded units. Silly me, huh? I don't think that a Wyvern is going to deal 100 damage to a grounded enemy. Although it might deal decent damage, well, to this imp here. Yes. So the only thing I have to consider is what their next move is likely to be. I'm pretty sure they're going to retreat now that things are massively in my favor. I know that this is kind of the safe move, but I don't especially care. Oh wow! And here I thought that you were going to retreat. Well, you sure showed me, huh? Oh boy, you really want to get that holy word off, huh? I believe they are going to have some regrets. Now what I'd like to do is get an archer kill on... Let's see, who can I realistically hit? Probably this guy. Although having the rock get another kill would be great. Let me see if I can pull that off. Well, I probably could, except it'll be on his turn. Yeah, I think considering that they're likely to roll around on my flank, I should play a little conservatively on this side. Ooh, that is fairly scary. Well, I guess there's not that much more to say about this battle. I'm sorry. Let's talk about what I liked to do in Legend of Forcena, huh? And Grand Edition. I mostly played Norgard and Cerulean, and my favorite part of the game was just building up monsters, especially the weak ones, into something extremely scary. Alright, this one, well, it's likely to be attacked a lot, so there you go. And as much as I'd like to attack some more, that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Okay, well, I definitely prefer that over them attacking. Yeah, things are looking messy over there. I'll have to come up with a good solution for that. Ooh, that protect was well placed, though. I think this would be a good place for a Genoflame. Right, well, I'm happy to say that I continued to place myself for good breath attacks. Something I need to consider in the future is Stella's ability to cast Charm. I feel like a durable, or at least semi-durable fighter that can cast Charm can be very powerful if I work things out right. Yeah, I think that'll work out very well once I figure things out. So where is... No, wait, no, this... We'll have to see how Genoflame works out. I think that's a 3-tile attack, so this guy will be unaffected, but we'll see, we'll see. Oh yeah, I have another curse ready. Although maybe that's not really the best move. I need to consider that. Venom might actually be better. Even though the damage is not quite as high. Because I need to think about whether these enemies are going to survive that Genoflame. Let's also see if I can start surrounding them. No, not quite. Getting there, but not quite. I know this is kinda nitpicking with my moves, but I want to get in the habit of optimizing this stuff. I think that even though the damage is not amazing and I can't actually poison with it, using a magic attack on that golem is the way to go. Because that's holding up kind of a key place in the lineup. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just gonna hit these three enemies here. And they're just kind of barely holding the line though, so once those are out of the way, that's gonna be pretty much it. Alright, well, I will never say no to a Rune Knight level. And that anti-mountain skill will work very nicely against this golem as well. Alright, so can you finish the enemy? That would be very helpful. Not quite. But you can do a hit and run instead. Although, to be honest, it might be better... Let's see, can the Wyvern pull it off? Yes. So it's just cleanup now, I think. Man, they really hurt themselves by not retreating when they had the chance. Now, what I want to do is put this side of the line within frost range. There's a good chance that at least one of my giants is going to die. But I kind of had too many giants anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. As tempting as it is to move my siren far forward, that seems like a bad idea. I don't have that much to gain. Oh, wow, you are committing. Well, that was rather poorly timed for me. How am I gonna handle this? Yeah, I was kind of relying on that unicorn heal now, wasn't I?
Yes.
Ah, if only I could shoot at that rock. This is actually kind of a problem. I think the smart thing to do right now is...
Yes.
Hold on. I thought that Snipe Shot had a range of 3, but I guess I was wrong. That sort of thing is later, I guess. Well, this is actually a pretty difficult thing to figure out. I think I don't want to have them run away completely. But I might not have a choice about it. Well, you still should have Protect, so you'll kind of stick around, and you'll back off, and that'll create a bit of a trap for whoever gets a little bit too brave. Yeah, I don't think that silent is going to work so well. Man, it used to be that these guys could cast 2 protects right out of the box. But that's not the case anymore, I guess. I think casting Flight on this giant is a good idea. All of these monsters will have trouble hitting them that way. Alright. So let's see what I can... Oh, you move first this time. Oh, that, of course, because you gained a level, that's why. I'm actually not sure how great that is. I don't think I can reach with any kind of offensive magic, which is that is a shame. That is shameful. Yeah, I better keep hitting this guy. I have to admit, if I had known the enemy would stick around, I probably would have been able to put a little more thought into this and place him better. This is not great, but it still puts him in a pretty dangerous position. Actually, very dangerous, except that I missed, of course. And you're definitely gonna stay away. And there it is. Probably losing all of those monsters last turn changed their mind. Alright, so can I secure a kill from here? It seems a little bit doubtful, but let's take a look at the stats. Actually, if the breath attack hits reasonably hard, I should be able to pull it off. And in this circumstance, I'd probably want to level the serpent. But before I do that, I need to check the potential damage. Okay, 111 damage. Yeah, that should do it. Because it'd be great if I could get this serpent up to a Hydra. One step at a time, right? And, you know, eliminating random stuff that would not be in your favor seems pretty good. Alright, well that's another battle that looked very scary on paper. But it turns out that once again, the enemy general rushing to the front line kinda turned the battle around pretty quick. Also, hello Coffee. I'm very sorry that I didn't respond to your text earlier. I was just looking at the game. Being a little bit new to streaming, I gotta remember to look at the chat a little bit more often. Hey, I can promote this guy now. Promoted rocks are great. I need to think about whether I want to be a Phoenix or essentially a Holy Grail. Let's see. It'd be very nice to have another spellcaster on my team, and oh! It'll be time to class change you as well. So that worked out. I think that as I get more used to this game, I'll be able to make faster decisions and things will just go more smoothly overall, I hope. So, how's the video and audio? Are they looking okay? Thanks, Valkos. I appreciate that. By the way, just to remind everyone who might be watching, I'm going to stream 8 to 10, like now, every other day. So it's going to be, in this case, Monday, then Wednesday, then Friday. Depending on how my work schedule changes, I might have to alter my schedule, but right now that's the plan. So, wounded 2 of their Rune Knights, that's really good. Killed some monsters. Most of them were pretty easily replaced, but that's okay, because I want more opportunities to kill more monsters. I will say that, as far as my general style goes, I don't do a huge amount of grinding. Like in earlier Brigandine games, I didn't bother to, for example, grind units up to level 30. And I didn't spend a whole lot of time going for the super secret promotions. Oh yeah, she probably breaks her weapons all the time. Reckless is not just her middle name, but also part of her last name. Hey, don't badmouth that random junk. That random junk turned into one of our most interesting Rune Knights. Yeah, probably the first thing we saw in the game was those two going on a shopping spree. As much as I'd like to kind of sit through all of this, I probably should go to the strategy and stuff soon. Yeah. There's actually another nation in this game where tailors make even more money. That's like the artsy country, and everyone dresses like one of those stereotypical actors. There is no shortage of fluff and lace. Oh, and about that level up noise. I can understand how you'd be sick of it, hearing it over and over, but when you're actually playing the game, it's a great sound to hear, believe me. Oh, are you making another one? I mean, I could use another one. Last time you made something like this, it turned out to be a fairly strong Rune Knight, although I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. Yeah, there wasn't anything like that in Forsena either. Yeah, this is definitely kind of a different feel from that game. It's more, well, I wouldn't say it's technology-based exactly, although they have discovered oil and have started figuring out how to use that. But there's touches of technology here and there. Like, I don't remember anyone wearing glasses in Forsena. Something will definitely happen. And of course it was Stella who pressed it. Whoa, Pluto has a sword too? Oh, this is the origin story. Okay. For a moment I thought this was something that was happening right after I did that bit of conquest, but nope, this is a flashback. Okay, I was a little confused, and it's not the first time I've been confused about flashbacks. And yes, that is correct. I do actually have, first of all, I'm not sure, Ossetia M? You do start with a bishop. So there is at least one person in the roster who can cast healing spells. And Holy Word. Let's not discount Holy Word too much. But yeah, this faction is definitely... I mean, there's the Bishop and Pluto, who's a sorcerer, and that's it for magic. Overall, it's much more brawn than brains. And metal, whatever this thing is. I took a look at its skills, and it seemed pretty strong. It has high defense, high magic attacks, and it can heal itself for free. That seems pretty... Whoa! Okay! 3-star loot? Okay. Yeah. Inferno Helm. That sounds pretty good. And there's that level up sound. I'm sorry, Potato. There's a bit more of that. Now, you'll notice that individual level ups, they don't give a huge number of stats. I mean, you get +2 or +1, which is almost Fire Emblem level, but their base stats are definitely higher than Fire Emblem, so percentage-wise, it's not huge. The big stat gains to be had are by promotions, which are multiples of 10. And yes, the cleavage clothes are real, and it's not just the captain who has it. I'll put it this way, it's not how I would have drawn the characters if I had any artistic talent. So let's see what we got here. Where am I going to go next? Because there are certain things that are a little tricky for me to deal with. This country in the middle, by the way, they have a lot of strong knights, but as you can see, they have to defend from every direction, so they're spread out. They're the Escars of this game. And like Escars, they don't seem very nice. So strategically, I'm now in a bit of a quandary because I don't have a huge... Well, okay, I take that back. If I position myself right, I might be able to capture another castle from here. And before I forget, let's do a little bit of promoting. Okay, well, thank you very much for the magic pool table. And Valkos, you are correct. I have seen the occasional +3 in the non-health stats. I believe the prince up here has done that a couple of times when I was playing the demo. That guy, Rubino, seems really scary if you can level him up. Something for me to remember when I play that faction. So, other things that I'm planning on. The most obvious thing is, of course, to gain 2 levels for this guy, because level 20 Rune Knights are, they are something. They are the sort of thing that shapes the battlefield. So I definitely want to get him to see some more combat. The only question is where to go from here. It actually might not be a bad idea to attack down along this line. Because... actually no, that doesn't seem all that great. I didn't notice this road here. Man, this country is a really huge strategic headache for expanding. Like, every castle I take from here opens up avenues of attack from others, and I have to guard more borders. And I'm starting to run out of rune knights for doing that. Oh well. I'll just have to figure it out. Let's see, how much does she need to gain another level? She can still quest for more levels, so I want her to keep doing that. Oh, this is... To question whether this is dynamic or plot-based, I'd say it's definitely dynamic, except perhaps for the final battle at the very end. I would be shocked if there wasn't one, because Brigandine Grand Edition had one, and it was fairly central to the plot and the gameplay. Alright, now I have some decisions to make. If I'm going to expand, I can't do that and have both of my new squads have extremely strong knights. This is a really big decision to make, by the way. You can tell by the stat chart. The Phoenix is definitely more magic based. It gets the ability to cast the flame spell. And the Simurgh has better physical stats, and this is basically an air-to-ground unit, and that's very strong because most ground units are bad at hitting air units, and it takes something specialized to deal with them. Also, I'd say that double white is overall better than double red, because there are not a whole lot of green combat units to target. I think I'm going to go with Simurgh. I do plan to summon and raise more rocks as soon as I can, so I expect I'll have at least one of each. Oh, dang it. Right. That little problem. Well... I guess I'll have to move this doggo out of the way. But I'll be able to give him to one of the rune knights that's going to move in this turn. Yeah, the original is also dynamic. I mean, there are plot things that happen when you conquer kingdoms, but as far as the strategic map goes, it all just plays out according to the game mechanics. Like, there are certain things that happen when you conquer a country or do specific quests, but it's not heavily scripted, if that helps to answer your question. I'm still waiting for a patch that lets you play Legend of Forsena music in Grand Edition. I'd download that in a heartbeat. I might even stream that instead of this. Well, okay, not really, but... music be good. Excuse me. Probably should get some water. Yeah, I noticed that. Geographically, Morelva seems... I'd say it's an even worse position than Escalio was when it comes to expanding. I didn't think such a thing was possible, but here it is. And I'm not entirely sure how to plan my expansion from here. I think I need to recruit some more rune knights or something. Very troublesome. I might actually need to take a turn or two questing for that rune knight that's sorta hanging out wherever. I don't like doing that. I'd prefer to spend my turns taking castles. But if I can't really afford to expand... I also need to summon more monsters. Jeez, what am I thinking? I can't have a good aggression squad with these guys just bringing, what, a handful of stuff. I already have too many giants, though. Thanks very much, Valkos. I appreciate it. So how am I going to arrange this? I'm not going to have him just be that guy with 2 dragons. That wouldn't work. There seems to be kind of a shortage of unicorns with these guys as well. I think what I need to do is go and summon a unicorn or 2. I think 1 will be enough, but I really need that 1. So I need to just find out where... Let's see. I need a unicorn and preferably a rock. I'm considering doing some of this stuff off screen. So yeah. Because running errands is not all that exciting to watch. Okay, sure. Fine, you know what? I won't complain too much about advice. I mean, I'm avoiding guides kind of on purpose right now. However, as long as it's not huge spoilers, I'll certainly accept tips in the chat. Probably the thing in the gameplay that surprised me the most in a good way is when I noticed that the flanking system is a lot more robust than it used to be. Like, being able to surround the enemy on a larger scale, I really like that. Let's see. Now I apologize for all this menu time, but I honestly haven't memorized all the names for my Rune Knights, so when you said send Lorenzo on a quest, I first need to figure out who that is. Alright. Lucia, Sharad. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. So this is gonna be actually a little tricky. There you are. Yeah, this is going to be actually very tricky. I'll probably have to move someone up here to stand guard. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. Man, I actually got quite a few levels, and I was very lucky to capture this Pegasus last battle. Yep, I see him. Man, there isn't anywhere around here that he's good at questing, but I guess that doesn't matter right now. Not when I'm looking for a Rune Knight. I also need to figure out who would be a good person to wear that Inferno helm. I mean, there's always just putting more good stuff on the best characters. And a higher magic pool from this. Okay. No wonder it's 3 stars. Wow. And I might as well just go all out on red defense. So how am I going to move to deal with this? I don't think that the AI is going to be all that aggressive right now. Alright, so I think I've worked it out. I'm going to do a bit of questing. I'm going to have my Rune Knights go on some errands to collect better force for attacking. And I think the next battle will happen on the next stream. I really want to have more than one battle on a stream, but there's just not enough time. I mean, there's only... The last battle took pretty close to an hour because I was still learning stuff. So with that in mind, you two are going to collect a unicorn and a rock respectively, possibly some more stuff as well. You're going to do a little more questing for levels, I think, and I'll figure out who you're going to bring along to level up some more as well. Yep, peace prevails. Mr. Potato is correct. So it might happen that I recruit this bishop off screen. If that happens, I apologize. And I absolutely agree with that, Coffee Potato. This experience is new and terrifying, but on the plus side, when things work out, it's great to show that stuff off, I think. But since that's all I'm going to be doing, I think it's okay to end the stream right here. I'll do all of that background management stuff, and 2 days from now at 8 EST, I'll pick this up and we'll get to more fighting. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you later.